Hi, it's time for Good Energy, and I'm Dr. Julie at Endeavor Health and Chiropractic. And today we are going to talk about where to find stressors. First things first, how many of you are following along with the template to try to lose weight or gain energy or shift your healing? If you are, please wave a hand in the comment section. I would love to see who's on this journey with me. And just to let you know, I have almost lost 6 pounds since the beginning of September 4th, which is a pretty amazing thing for me because it's not been about control. Remember, I told you when you're writing down what you're doing for your foods, just write them down. Don't be obsessed about that because that can be a stressor. Just write it down and say, okay, how did my gut feel? How did I feel? Not how should I feel because I just had a fudge bar. It should be about how you felt and not about control. It's interesting because for me, in the past, it's all been about denying myself something and recording every single morsel. And if you aren't kind of slipping into that trend or you are kind of feeling where I'm going, I had an eating disorder in high school and college, and some of those tendencies have kind of gone with me as I've gotten older. I have tried to steer clear of diets that require that I mark everything down because then I feel like I have control. And when I have control, I know I'm going to lose weight. But that's actually a stressor. So that's a habit I've trying to unlearn through this process. In fact, I thought, you know what, this kind of feels a little bit more freeing, like I'm not gonna focus on every little thing, but instead I'm gonna focus on how I feel after I have these things or in my day. And so today we're gonna talk about where to find stressors, not in your food, because we've already got those out there. We know that there are some foods that trigger gut issues. But we're going to talk about where to find stressors and how you're relieving your stress. Raise your hand if your favorite thing to do while you are de-stressing after a long day is to sit and binge watch something on Netflix. Right here, me, totally me. And what usually happens is that while I am de-stressing, I usually have a tendency to watch one or too many episodes, and I start stressing about it. And I usually end up nibbling on food and saying, oh, it's just because I'm watching television, or watching a show. I can nibble while I'm watching a show. And 2 hours later, I feel bloated and yucky and stressed because I didn't get anything done. You can do the same thing on Facebook. You can just sit there and binge that stuff. And when you realize, you're like, it just sucked 2 hours of my life. I could have been doing something. I could have been getting good energy in. And sometimes that good energy in comes from strange places. So you're going to say, well, what did I do to replace my Netflix binging or my Facebook scrolling? Because that was actually being a stressor. I replaced it with naps if I needed them. I could take a 20-minute nap and feel rejuvenated and feel like I got some good energy in, and I could go ahead and do more. So one of the things you got to pay attention to is, what are you using to de-stress, and is what you're using to de-stress causing stress? Remember that this is less about restricting yourself, denying yourself. It's looking for patterns and looking for places where you can put good energy in. So start by looking at some of your habits that you've thought were for de-stressing and see if they might be providing an entry for you to keep stressing. That's what we're going to work on this week. And next week, I'm going to come back with another live video. On next Wednesday, I'm starting something new where I will put a post up about science-based ways to do good energy in that are only a few seconds or only a few minutes long, because we all need a little bit of extra good energy in when we are looking for things to help us out with our energy to heal or energy to lose weight. Until then, take care and I will see you next week.